Why do I always look so tired? A little bit of backstory. I, like many people, have grown up worrying about my size, my weight, my general shape, despite a lot of it being genetics, and have developed to a degree a somewhat unhealthy relationship with myself and my body and my eating habits and so on. I know fully well that a lot of this is to do with the media, to do with the photos and campaigns that we're constantly being bombarded with, telling us that we need to change ourselves in order to be our best self, essentially. And the worst bit is that, especially at this point, now that I'm older, I know that these photos are all fake. I knew that from a young age, but now especially I'm aware that all these photos or all these angles and all these shots, they're all fake and staged and posed and photoshopped. And so I know that they are an unrealistic representation of what the norm should be, or like what a perfect body is. And yet, because we've been exposed to this kind of stuff from such a young age, it's just cemented in our minds. So even though rationally we can say that's fake, that's not realistic, that's not sustainable, our brains still associate that with a sort of ideal world, or at least I do to an extent. So it's super important, I know for me, to remind myself that these are unrealistic ideals and that I shouldn't be trying to work towards something that is not real. And this obviously can be done through me reminding myself if I'm looking at photos of a model or photos of a fitness blog or whatever, that even that is posed, it's staged, it's photoshopped to an extent in some cases. However, what I find the most useful is when something more close to home reminds me of that. This is a very long-winded intro to a little story that I wanted to tell you. So recently I was talking to a friend of mine and we were talking about another person that I don't really know and therefore can't really comment on, but that my friend does know a little better. And the girl in question is very into weightlifting and yoga and healthy eating, and like good on her, and she shows a lot of that on her Instagram, like her progress, what she eats, her workouts, the classic kind of, you know, fitness bloggery type thing. And she doesn't have hundreds and hundreds of followers, so she's someone that I would think is portraying something that is real, because she's not doing it for thousands of people or because she's being paid for it. However, I did notice that what she was eating, or at least the amounts that she was eating, if that is an accurate representation of what she was eating, didn't seem to be enough to be sustaining someone as active as she is. However, like I said at the beginning, I don't know this person personally. Who knows? They might not show everything they eat on Instagram, which is totally legit. So I can't make any kind of judgment based on what I know because I don't know enough. However, when I was speaking to this mutual friend, we were kind of talking about like fitness and health and all that kind of jazz. And I brought up this other person's account and sort of said, oh, I just had this thought, and what do you think? And my friend just said, yeah, I don't think she eats enough either. Like, knowing her in person as well. And maybe she doesn't. I know that in the past she used to be a little bit overweight, and so she made a lot of effort to lose that weight and get into weightlifting and yoga and build a lot of muscle. But the issue is, in a society where losing weight and building muscle and getting toned and getting healthy is celebrated, it's easy to fall into a cycle of, oh, if I lose more weight, people will like me more, or will think I'm better, or I'll have achieved more. And that can then very quickly spiral into unhealthy either eating habits or exercising habits, or even just negative thoughts around your body and around food. My point in all this is that when she told me this and I started thinking about it, I was hit with the realization that everyone around us, of course, selectively picks what they put out there, and sometimes will cover up the fact that they are dealing with unhealthy habits or unhealthy thought processes in order to achieve a standard that society expects of them. And that to me was really important, because I remind myself again that this person is not someone that I should be comparing myself to. We are not the same person, we don't have the same body. I don't lift weights and I don't do yoga, but I do other things. I know I'm not contributing anything new to this discussion. This is just a reminder to you that the expectations you think that society has set are wrong, basically almost always completely unhealthy and completely unsustainable and completely unnecessary. If you feel happy and healthy and comfortable with yourself, as long as you're not putting yourself in any danger or putting anyone else at harm, then you can do what you like. And to be honest, if we all followed society's rules and regulations and all that crap, then we'd all be the same. Who wants to be the same? So you can take anything from this video. It's learn to love yourself and accept yourself for the things that society might deem as flaws, and just know that you don't need to change yourself in order to meet someone else's expectations, because in the end they're just worried about their own expectations and their own flaws and whatnot to give a damn. So just go have fun.